The nest is one of the best kept secrets that we have in Montezuma County. It is a facility to provide total and complete service to any child who is the victim of any type of child abuse, be it physical or sexual abuse.
We have a multidisciplinary team. It's this group of investigators, the prosecutor, the mental health provider, the medical provider. We all come together.
That's another nice thing they have there is they have the medical exam room there where we can have the children examined by a physician. Again, it's a lot nicer facility than taking them to a doctor's office and having that done there.
From my perspective as a doctor, it's doing these examinations at the center has been so incredibly helpful because children much more readily tell us their stories. Kids who have been reluctant when they're sitting under the stress of an emergency room in a regular doctor's office, here they feel comfortable, relaxed. They don't see me as a person wearing a white coat as a doctor. They see me as a friend.
So the whole idea of this model is to provide a very safe place that's non-threatening, that reduces the possibility of any more trauma.
You know, when a child walks into the center, it's like they're walking into a home. And they walk into the rooms, and there are toys and there are things for them to do, and they're distracted enough that they don't feel like they're, being, really interviewed, when in fact everyone can watch behind the glass, and they really are being interviewed in that nice, quiet, soft environment.
It's a place where people come in when they're in crisis in this horrible thing that they've just found out about what happened, and so they're going to interview their kids and all of this, and it's such a homey place. And it's amazing to me how many people leave here, even when they've come in for an interview, and they feel so much better that it's going to be okay.
We're talking not just about therapy. We're talking about how we interview the child, how law enforcement interacts with the child, how the district attorney's office interacts with the child. These are all well researched, and there's a lot of development around how we can help that child to begin healing the moment they walk in the door.
So it's a one-stop place for a child to go to receive care, comfort, support, and to start back on the road to a normal, healthy life.
First of all, when a child comes to the center to disclose any type of abuse, we believe them.
The forensic interview is to gather evidence. There's specific ways that you do a forensic interview. They're very non-threatening, non-leading. They are video and audio recorded, so that our hope is we only have to interview the child one time.
And putting them in that environment at the nest relaxes them and helps them talk.
I walked in and everyone was so nice to me. I noticed a stranger first, and she came around and she introduced herself, and we played a game.
I oftentimes will play board games with the kids while the grown-ups are talking. And usually the kids who come in are really pretty nervous about having to talk and who they're going to be telling, and it's pretty scary. So I try to really make them feel as comfortable as I can.
And then I had my first session with Polly.
With the kids, you kind of try to get them to express, even if it's not just talk about what happened specifically, but express what they're feeling, what they're going through, and express what has happened to them in some way or another.
I came here just to hang out, get a snack, and just let everything go. Just it was like the one time I could just sit here and relax and say everything to Polly, and it wouldn't offend anyone or anything.
They usually feel a sense of relief when they've talked about it to someone who's understanding and who is going to really have them share every detail.
Law enforcement, when they came in here, it was awesome because they treated the kids with high respect, and they didn't look down upon them. They didn't act like they were they did anything wrong.
They treated me with a lot of respect. They didn't plow me over and went to go talk to my parents. Just, forget about what happened to me. Just go talk to my parents.
My role is really about making sure the child's voice is heard.
This is the medical exam room, and we've tried to set it up like a medical exam room, but with pictures and things that children can relate to that make them feel relaxed. While getting medical information is important for the prosecution of perpetrators of abuse, our most important thing is really supporting the child victim and the family. And we take great efforts to do that. All aspects of our investigation, whether it's medical or police, the child comes first.
So we look at this as if it's kind of a wheel and the child's at the center of the wheel. And each one of the professionals that are dealing with that wheel have a very specific goal in mind. However, the idea is to stay totally child-centered.
We really want to help the family get back to normal as soon as we can. It's going to be certainly a new normal, but so that they can get back to being a kid.
And by the end of therapy, the goal is that they can tell you about it without it bringing up all those extra emotions, because it's not their fault. You need to get rid of the guilt and the shame, and just to be able so that they can accept that this did happen to them, but it doesn't have to rule the rest of their lives.
If it comes to mind, I push it away and I just move on. It's happened, it's over with. I'm thankful that it's gone.
I truly would not know where we would be right now if we didn't go through you guys. I honestly do not know. My kids are 100% better off that they've gone through you guys. They got help when they needed the help, and regardless, whenever something comes up, I know I can call and they can come at any time without any problems.
Well, and to see a kid at the very end of therapy be able to really feel okay about what's happened to them is amazing to me, because whenever I first started here, I thought, how do you get through something like that?
This place is about helping the children that need the help.
Being here for so long, you see that this is where it stops. And even if it doesn't stop through the courts, it usually stops anyway because people are watching.
I always think about this parable where there's a man on a beach surrounded by hundreds of thousands of starfish, and he's throwing them back one at a time, and another person comes walking along and says, how are you going to make a difference? Look at all these starfish. There's just too many. And the man picks up another starfish, throws it in the water, and said, I helped that one.
The Nest has become the centerpiece of what we do for children who are abused and victims of abuse.
Our area, unfortunately, needs a safe haven for children.
There would be a huge gap in services, both to the community at large and to law enforcement in my office if the Nest were not here, and I'm extremely glad that it is.
It has to be an organization that we support. It's more valuable than almost any organization I know that we deal with, simply because it deals with young kids.
If the Nest didn't exist, these kids would just be they would just be pushed from one agency to the next to get through the process.
I think that this is an amazing place, and I'm so grateful to have an opportunity to work here.
Knowing that we have that we have the Nest, and we're able to provide services and help with that is just amazing to me.
It's just such a blessing that we have a place children can go to that's safe.
Watch out for our children.